Did you say we're live?
I did say we're live.
Let's go. Well, I'm just getting a quick hose set up because the boys are getting ready for our tent sale. Is it this weekend?
I believe so, yeah.
This weekend, tent sale. Ryan, it's this weekend, right?
This weekend, April 26th.
All right. So, tent sale. If you guys don't know what the tent sale is, we essentially take sometimes at Adams Polishes, like at Amazon or on our website, like we'll send people their shipment and their maybe it gets like the packaging is damaged really bad, or maybe the product like the dye shifted or something weird, and so either it gets returned or maybe we have a formula mix up with our products during production and we don't feel comfortable like sending it out. Then it's like a clearance sale. We call it the tent sale. And so we have some online, we have some in person. So we have one this weekend here at Adams Polishes headquarters in Colorado. So if you look over here, like some of this stuff, like if you're into detailing or if you're doing this at home and you're looking for a polisher, like all these are going to be crazy marked off. It's like, I think they say like 50 to 80% off type of thing.
And it's just because, like,
Yeah, it's not because like we're not going to, like we legitimately are not going to give you something that doesn't work. I think sometimes people will get stuff at the tent sale. There might be like 3 people that come back and are like, I don't know what's happening. And you just like switch one thing and it works. So everything works. There's everything from like detailing seats, pressure washers, detailing towel cart, foam cannons, buckets, so if you're local in Colorado, Wyoming, and you're really like want to get some high ticket items or just some detailing stuff for a really good cost, the tent sale is probably the best thing to do. So that's happening this weekend. And we always like to tell people, get here early because the line goes all the way down to 7-Eleven. It's like, I think they say expect like a 2-hour wait if you get here like later in line. So cool event. But today, like I said on the Instagram post, someone a few weeks ago requested like cleaning exhaustives. I think that's when we were doing the engine cleaning. Yeah. And so I was like, you know what? Actually, this car, I heard it pull up today, and I was like, what the heck? Chris, just here, I'm going to turn this car on so everyone can hear it. If you unplug that, does it screw it up? Here, how about this? You turn the car on. You don't have to put the key in. You just have to have it with you, and then you turn the fake key that's in there. I have the mic on, so I want you guys to hear this, but this exhaust on this Xfinity FX45 is wild. So Chris is gonna go turn it on so you guys can hear it. Yeah. It's like a Corvette. Rev it a little bit, Chris. There you go. So the story goes, I was coming into work today and this car pulled up and I heard it and I was like, what the heck? Didn't expect it from this car, to be honest with you. And so I was like, you know what? Somebody requested exhaustive cleaning. So I went and looked, and these are like perfect for this. They're dirty, they're oxidized, they're discolored, all this stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'll leave this one and I'll show you how to clean and restore this one. So you get like a good kind of before and after. And then, obviously before I go inside, I'll clean this one. But
Chester said, is that a 6 cycle?
I don't know. I'm not sure, Chester. I also have gotten an email from somebody about talking about oxidation. And so like to address oxidation and like how to fix it or how to address it. And so probably next week I'll do that.
Like oxidized paint?
Yeah, like oxidized paint. I mean, I'll even do oxidized as a whole, like oxidized plastic and rubber and stuff like that. So, uh, so yeah,
Oxidation.
oxidation. So I have a few of the cleaning stuff. I have some of the polishing stuff, even protection. So I'll just jump right into this. So generally, when you do this process, like we've talked about this before, this is kind of in sequence with the wheel cleaning process. So you clean each wheel individually, right? Even sometimes when I'm doing this, I'll clean like the passenger side front wheel, I'll clean the passenger side rear wheel, then I'll do the exhaust tips, and then I'll do the driver's side rear wheel, then the driver's side front wheel, and then I'll clean the engine. So it's like I only make it around the car one time, but I'm kind of doing everything as before I start actually washing the car, because the whole point of this is to avoid getting hard water on the car and it's drying while you're doing this job. So avoiding getting water on the car is very important. Another thing is, obviously, a pressure washer is the best tool. I'm not using the pressure washer right now because they're doing stuff for the tent sale, and I don't want to screw them up trying to take pallet jacks over the pressure washer hose. Not that it would ruin it, it's an inconvenience for them, so I'm just gonna use standard garden hose, which is fine. The one thing, when you're using a pressure washer or garden hose, is you don't want to spray it directly into the exhaust tip. So like you always want to be at an angle somehow as you're rinsing this off. So first things first is and actually what I like to do, even when I'm using a garden hose for cleaning wheels, is I will pull the trigger so it's a stream, and then I'll start backing it off. So then I have like a mist like this. Okay, so just all I'm trying to do is rinse off any like excess dirt and grime.
Also, Rodney says right on, that was me asking for oxidation.
Oh, okay, cool, Rodney. Yeah, thanks for the email, by the way. Rodney sent me an email. So I would say like kind of two options when it comes to cleaning these: tire and rubber cleaner, all-purpose cleaner. I personally like all-purpose cleaner better. The other one you could use is citrus degreaser, but for this case, all-purpose cleaner is what I've been using since I've worked here, and so I don't know, it just seems to work. I think the reason being is there's, exhaust residue is essentially like byproduct of oil. So like having a degreasing type of product to break down oil type of material is going to be the best. So all-purpose cleaner. So you can use a lot of this. So spray it down. Again, I'm not spraying it directly into the exhaust pipe. Just always keeping it at like an angle. Now, the tools that I like the best, and generally you'd have all your wheel cleaning tools in here. My favorite tool to use is the spoke brush. So if you look at this, it's a more kind of bushy version of the angled wheel brush, but it's just like a short handle. It's a lot easier to grip onto. The reason why I have the angled wheel brush is, like if I'm using the spoke brush like this, if you don't have a spoke brush, you can just take the angled wheel brush and grab it at the neck and essentially get the same effect out of this, if that makes sense. But personally, I like the spoke brush. So take the spoke brush and combine with the all-purpose cleaner. I am just agitating this to clean these the best I can. Now, if the exhaust tips aren't, like oxidized or looking dull, just cleaning them like this is totally fine. You don't really need to go to the next step, which I'll go to here in a minute. But right now, I'm just cleaning them. And here's the thing about, this is like for anything detailing, right? Like the more you keep up with this, the less work you need to do in the long run. So, if you get aftermarket exhaust, you get, you just got like a newer car and your exhaust tip looks great. Exhaust tips look great. The more often you clean them in your process of like wheel cleaning and then exhaust tips, the less you're gonna have to get to the polishing step, if that makes sense. So now I'm just gonna rinse these off. Okay. So just by cleaning them, it already looks pretty good compared to like where we started. But I will say there is some soot, I guess you could call it, which is like this black ring right here, the black from the exhaust coming out. And they're just very dull looking, you know? So when you have, go ahead.
Is the rust that's inside of the exhaust, is that something we are going to address, or is that something that's...
You know, I think like the best I can do, I'll address the rust on the inside here, but realistically, it's just the construction of this. So, you know, they're gonna rust again.
Yeah.
So I'm more worried about like the outside part than I am like on the inside part. But, you know, you could address this. I mean, we own a company called POR15. They have a product that's like a rust remover. You'd let it like sit in here, but it'd be hard to get the rust remover in here to sit. You have to like let it sit for an hour or so. So it'd be like almost one of those things where you like put it in a bag and like set it around it and let it sit there for a while. I'm not gonna, I want the outside to look better. I mean, if you want to go to extreme lengths to get the rust off in the inside, go for it, but I'm not gonna worry about it too much. So after you've cleaned them, when they're looking dull, not amazing, then you're gonna polish them. And I actually we have something called one-step metal polish. I'm gonna use this. Now we do have a metal polish 1 and metal polish 2 system, which is my favorite, not even a question. But we are currently completely out of metal polish 1 here at Adams Polishes. It's a very popular product. And so in the case of that, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try using the one step and maybe I'll finish it with metal polish 2. But for this case, I'm just gonna try one-step metal polish. And one-step metal polish is what it is. It's like you don't need to do 2 steps. It's kind of like our one-step polish, but it's probably not as aggressive as metal polish 1 and probably doesn't finish as perfect as metal polish 2. So
Do you only use metal polish by hand, or can you use it with a machine?
you can use metal polish with a machine, and if you have, we don't sell them. But if you have one of those, like I think Mothers sells them, they're like the ball attachment you put on your drill, and then you like turn it and it runs. It spins really fast. Like use one of those for this for sure. The part of the reason why I don't.
Could you use? Sorry to interrupt. Could you use the rotary extension kit on the micro polisher?
You could use the rotary extension kit for this. It's just so small that like it would take you forever. And the thing when it comes to like a smaller piece is like you can get like these weird halos on there, you know. For me, most of our metal polish is very, very good by hand. So like I don't necessarily feel like the chemical or the formula is so effective that like I don't feel like I need to get more aggressive with power. Like I think it's more about how many times you go over the surface than it is how aggressive you get with the machine. And so and my thing too is like it's such a weird area to access that like trying to use all these different polishers and this and that, it's like by hand I can just really do a lot of work by doing
like
that.
in theory you can use it with a machine, but you don't really need to.
In theory you can use it with a machine, and I'll just say this, I have never polished exhaust tips with a machine. So it doesn't matter, you can do whatever you want. Whatever's easiest for you, that's my advice. All right. So we take the metal polish, and this is about how many times you go over the surface. So like the magic number that Adam taught me is like 20. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on, all the way to 20. And I lose count after like 6, so I just like keep going until I feel like I've done a lot. So I'm just gonna do that spot. So you'll notice that my applicator turned black, so that means that these are metal. They're not chrome plated or clear coated. And so just so you can see, after I wipe this off, it significantly makes them look a lot better. Does that look better to you, Chris? Huh?
A ton.
Chris never gets excited, so I can never tell. Like, yeah, it kind of looks better. I'm like, what? That looks amazing.
It looks amazing.
There it is. All right, I'm just gonna keep going with this. Put more metal polish on here.
Dave says, I've had great success with metal polish 1 and 2. Had no idea there was a one-step metal polish.
Yeah. I prefer the metal polish 1 and 2, like hands down, not even question. It like makes raw metal almost look chrome. Like it just works incredible. The one-step metal polish, yes, it might be a little bit more efficient, but I think the results with metal polish 1 and 2 is just significantly better. So I tend to. What's that?
Do you think like one step is better for maintenance than for like really
No.
bad, or just
Okay, I'll be honest with you guys. Okay, one-step metal polish came at a time when Adams Polishes was releasing new products like over and over and over again, and the person who was like our R&D person, they were just like releasing products all the time, and it's just kind of one of those things where you're like, do we really need this? And it's like, well, yeah, let's just do it. And I was like, I'm never going to use it because metal polish 1 and 2 is just so good. But like, if you're just the kind of person that just wants one bottle of something, like it's cool for that, you know, but the metal polish 1 and 2 is so tried and true that like, I don't know. I think I'm more like, I'm not going to say it was a gimmick. It was just more of like the person running our R&D and like product releases needed a product to release, so they released that product. That might sound really bad, but
doesn't sound fantastic.
but I'm using it and it's working pretty good. I just think that the results you get from metal polish 1 and 2 are like hands down.
Are you worried at all about how black the applicator is? Like, is there a point where you would switch to another side or a different applicator?
I'm not worried about how black the applicator gets, no. It's more messy than it is anything. So like, if it gets too messy and it's getting all over the place, then I might switch. But
it's not going to be less effective.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything more to the. Essentially, how metal polish works is there's a chemical in there that oxidizes the metal to break it down, and then when you wipe it, it breaks it down, and then it has the abrasive in there. So like, the oxidizing chemical in there essentially softens the metal to the point where the abrasive can actually do some of the work. And so that's why why it turns black is because the chemical in there is oxidizing it, oxidizes black onto your applicator. So, sorry, go ahead.
You can go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Dave says, can you use these two products on aluminum, and also could you use them on a Hellcat supercharger?
Dave, yes, you can. So Dave asked, can you use this product on aluminum, and can you use it on a Dodge Hellcat supercharger? Yeah, anything that's, I'd say any chrome material, any raw metal, whether that's aluminum or steel or whatever, it's going to work on all of them. So what you're going to notice on chrome, like this is chrome right here, or like this part's chrome. So like, I'll do this on the other side of the applicator just like a little bit so you can see it. It's not going to turn it black because chrome plating is almost like clear coat. But what it does is it creates, it like clarifies it. It makes it more shiny, more glossy. So even if you have like chrome and it's not raw metal, you can still use this on like chrome surfaces, and look how much more clear that is. You know, so this is a great product for that as well. But you can see like it brought dirt off, but it didn't turn black. So like on chrome plated stuff, it's not going to turn black. On raw metal stuff, it's going to for sure turn black. Now, one thing I'm noticing here is I was polishing all of this, but the soot from the exhaust